Hey guys, welcome to another lesson of Pro Teacher Do. Today I have with me Ingrid, Eric, and Dan.
Hi!
And Team RWBY, a special guest.
Yep, and Team RWBY. And today we are going over the follow-up mini-series to the Justice League RWBY that Ingrid and I did way long ago last year.
Wow, time flies.
Yep, especially since I'm over 260-something episodes by this point. That was episode 12.
Wow.
Watch yourself for creeping up to 300.
Right. But first 275. I'm worried about that one first.
Fair enough.
But this, it is not a sequel to Justice League RWBY. It's more of a spiritual follow-up. Justice League RWBY was about the DC heroes being part of the RWBY world. This is a case where RWBY and Nico come to the DC universe and kind of during their time there, whereas it was permanent in Justice League RWBY, here it's more like they're changing the world while they're there. And they get changed by the world in turn, as you can see by their outfits.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yep. So, and this is a 7-issue mini, so let's just dive right in.
Let's go. In with the end.
Yeah. Why did these stories survive? Every culture has. This is Wonder Woman. You can tell by the icon there.
Okay.
Every culture has its fairy tales and folklore. The Great Flood, the creation out of clay, the descent to the underworld, the Dark Knight and the Dragon. Nightwing the Batman. We're getting these monsters contained from the harbor to the subway. Batgirl and battered them. Robin roughed them up, but we still don't know where they're coming from. Searching, configuring, dialing, and loading. Batman. Nice to have you show up after the credits rolled on giant, outlandish, glow-in-the-dark monster spawn turned the city into a lucky panda super buffet. That's a terrible title, Antoya. No one would name a movie that. I think that's a joke on the Emancipation one, Harley Quinzel.
Oh!
I think that's a joke on that. But anyway, you show up late to a few more of these, and the kids who handle it are going to put you out of a job. Kids? Yeah, and they seem to be making a bit of an impression. Yeah, they're actually inspiring people. It's kind of leaning towards how the cosplaying and fandom of RWBY.
Hey. Oh yeah, we're cosplayable.
Yep. Before we get to that, what?
I said they are cosplayable.
Yep.
No.
Before
I was just agreeing.
Right. In honor of the 101st time I've asked you this question, in our long and fruitful partnership, you ever seen anything like this? The DNA analysis is inexplicable. The creatures are not from Earth, but have none of the signatures of known alien worlds either. Outposts prepared to guard the planet have not reported any extraterrestrial arrivals. We've got eyewitnesses to this last attack. They're saying a bunch of girls showed up and turned this little critter into sashimi. Girls were dressed really funny. That cosplay stuff Bass used to be all into. Big skirts and swords and cloaks and wacky hairstyles. Anything but a shave and a haircut for 2 bits is wacky to you, Jim. The kids might have done in the creature, but they didn't do right by any of the victims of the attack, I can tell you. As soon as the girls took off, the first eyewitness started having a seizure, then turned invisible. He's down in Gotham Memorial under observation now. Second eyewitness started hearing the thoughts of a bunch of street pigeons. She claimed she could communicate with animals. The third witness said, and the third witness, whoosh!
Holy.
Like, you don't think these would-be vigilantes knew about the effects the monsters had on civilians? If they did know and just took off, that would put them much more on the supervillain side of the scale, wouldn't you say? And since no one had ever seen the kids or the critters until 3 days ago, you think the children turned these creatures loose on Gotham? They're not exactly toddlers, Batman. One of them's carrying a Grim Reaper size bigger than she is. And there's another. Oh, and notice her and Weiss's glyphs.
Oh yeah!
I was wondering about that.
And there's enough smoke and fire in their wake to make you think we're living in the gates of hell. And so, hey, could be these girls didn't realize their pet monsters don't like to travel. Wouldn't be the first time one of Harley Quinn's hyenas slipped its leash. or one of Poison Ivy's beloved man-eating houseplants got peckish before brunch. You disagree? That's not where the evidence leads. They say the vigilantes are killing these monsters, but they're not doing it to cover their own tracks. They must know Gotham's under my protection. They must know they're leading me right to them. Ruby, this plan is never going to work. Oh, don't say that. He's simply too scary. Weiss might have a point, but not you do. And the city's peacekeepers are working with this guy. All the more reason we need to stop him, Yang. He's in league with those awful officers. Like, you heard what the sheriff with the mustache said. Like, a little strange, isn't it, Batman? Tonight you're not hunting monsters. Tonight you're hunting monster hunters. Whoa!
Woo!
And
That's
Team RWBY.
girls.
Yep, Team RWBY together. Ha! Okay. Next plan. Mere children, trained in combat but not in subterfuge. I anticipate her attack, but I don't anticipate her speed. Whoosh!
Rob,
what?
Where did Dan go? By the way, he's been out.
Dan?
No, I just turned the.
He just turned the camera. He just turned the camera off.
Oh,
Yeah,
Sorry.
because I'm like,
Yep.
I'm zoomed in and looking at the screen, so
Yep, I got you.
I don't want you looking at my forehead the whole time.
Right.
why not? You guys are seeing my forehead. Look at this.
No. But no. That's all we saw. It was like this.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Yep. And sure, you're not a faunus like me. Your ears are almost as big as mine, and a cat knows what to do with string. You know, I just realized that's a good point about Gimbal Shroud when you think about it. It's like cat string to her.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
yeah.
I never thought of that.
It is the 3-in-1 weapon, so
But yeah, I never thought about that. It's pretty much like her cat string or cat yarn.
It's better than Ruby playing. It's better than Ruby playing with the yarn ball. Oh, that was the best. If you get that Chibi reference, you get a Ruby's cookie.
Yep. Like, aww. The cold one uses swordplay, but that is not her power. And this one, two, take one and take down one, then focus on the sword strike. No, an illusion. Subterfuge after all. In my own senses, so sharp, unusually sharp, as though I can anticipate their moves before they even happen. Blake! Hey, no, Ruby, no. It was just my shadow clone. Watch out. With a sweep of my cloak, I get the speedster out of the way. Hey, mister, that was my sister!
Yeah.
Woo!
That's my
Yep, the cold one has powers after all. What happened to him? Him? What happened to us? These clothes, these weapons, they just changed all of a sudden once the smoke hit them.
Whoa.
Like, we're changing from having been in this place. And as I prepare for round two, I see everything that will happen next. So basically, as you could probably, it was hinted up earlier, anyone that the Grimm or Team RWBY come in close proximity to gains a semblance. And Batman has now, in this case, precognition.
Interesting.
Like, Like, how did you just? We've been watching you for days. I know. You've never been able to do that before. He has a semblance, which means he has a soul. Evil men have had souls before. Ouch! We know who
Oh, sorry.
Adam. Shouts at Adam.
Yep. And Torchwick.
And Torchwick and Mercury and everybody else.
Yep. I protect this city. Gotham is mine. Not for much longer, bad man. Enough! Your monsters are endangering the lives of innocent people. Our monsters? Wait, you're not the bad guy? Okay, but just to be clear, you are the guy dressed all in black with a mask, a cape, and a bunch of weapons strolling on darkened alleys to pick on some civic-minded teenage girls innocently trying to put down horrifying monsters, though. I did not. Everyone quiet! Our names are RWBY.
Everyone quit it. Everyone.
Oh, quit it. I've had. Our names are RWBY. Our names are RWBY, Yang, Weiss, and Blake. We come from Remnant, where we hunt these monsters down. 3 days ago, we were brought from our world to this one. Unless we find a way to curb their spread, those monsters, those Grimm, are going to eat your world alive. And Grimm thrive on anger and despair. So much so, they smelled it between universes and crossed over to this place. The Grimm are going to destroy everyone they come across. everyone in our world and everyone in yours. Now, that girl's fine. She just spewed out fire in the hospital.
Yikes. She's a fire reader.
Yep. But of course, we then skip to after dealing with that. Is this the Batcave you mentioned, Batman? Well, I do appreciate commitment to a bit. That's why I say that.
Of course I would say that.
Like our guest, Alfred, Ruby Rose, Weiss, Blake Belladonna, and Yang Xiaolong. Color coordinate for my convenience, I see.
Color-coded.
I said color-coded.
No, you said coordinated.
I said coded.
You said
It
coordinated.
doesn't matter. They mean the same
Anyway,
thing.
It doesn't matter. Let's move on.
All right, permit me to congratulate you. Though you have been here a precious few days, you already seem to have quite the following among the youth of Gotham. You would be Miss Weiss, yes? May I offer you a slight decontamination? Oh, I thank you. Obviously, we know who he reminds her of. In fact, he looks like Klein here, doesn't he?
Klein's
Yeah.
it just
No, doesn't he have a mustache?
Oh, he doesn't,
And think nothing of it. If one is going to be a living legend, one must look the part. Sometime later, you need more chairs in this Batcave and bad man. And what do you flump into when you're exhausted from crushing monsters and putting out hospital fires all night? Oh, hang from the ceiling in a burrito of your own wings. You get used to it. Nightwing, Ruby Rose, and here I thought Weiss was dramatic. None of us will ever match Nightwing for chivalry and showmanship. Hi, Batgirl. Is everyone here is everyone bat-themed here? What? You never heard of Gotham City? I mean, maybe in a fairy tale, but Yang, Blake, Weiss, and I are new arrivals to your dimension of the multiverse. So they do know about the multiverse, at least in this version.
Question mark.
Interesting.
Well, maybe Batman told them about the multiverse. I don't know.
Multiverse.
All right, we're on a monster hunting expedition. The black and white beasties, Grimm. We call them. In our world, they don't cause people to develop semblances, though. Are the Grimm what's causing all the blackouts around the electrical grid? Is the grid down too? Half the cars on Main suddenly locked up at once. I thought it was an EMP at first. Grimm, semblances, and blackouts? We've got to get these monsters under control, Ruby. The way these Grimms are transforming people, giving them powers. Did those appear after you fought in Remnant? There are humans and there are faunas. Oh, excuse me. So sorry. I'm guessing that means animal hybrid people? Yes, and I'm a camp fauna, thank you. Which shows what superlative taste you have, dear. Of course, Catwoman shows up. Unlike the room we're all lounging in, to each their own. I'm sure everyone on single male living space was very impressed, Batman. Yeah, Yang and Blake are
Whoa, jeez. What is this gal?
I don't know, but look at them.
I know, they're like,
They're smitten.
we didn't see anything. Nope. Goodbye. I'm going back to my book.
Although, to be fair, we saw how they are with Wonder Woman in the movie.
Well, she is super strong. And just making an observation.
Catwoman, how did you get it here? You gave me a key. Did you need me to feed your box of roadside kittens while you were out gallivanting? If by gallivanting you mean putting out a hospital fire and seeing all patients safely located to secure healthcare facilities, this is why your worst enemies call us a Joker. You have no sense of humor and an even worse sense of comedic timing.
I don't know. There's plenty of comics out there with him snorting.
Right. Catwoman, I have a bottle of Louise Rodinaire and Crystal Rose and a Chilean sea bass with caviar sauce and caramelized lemons. Alfred, even you aren't this good. I definitely would have smelled that fish. I seem to have developed a new ability to manifest whatever I need the moment I need it. A semblance? In our world, Remnant, those with souls have semblances. A special, well, I suppose you call it a superpower. Blake is chattier in this story already, isn't she?
He gets chattier.
Yeah, now that you mention it.
Now, wait a minute. She gets chattier as the series goes on. And,
I know, but this chattier?
and Aaron Zach gets a bit more...
Competent?
Yeah, with her voice acting. Although this is the most exposition I've heard from her since they arrived in Menagerie.
Right. That's the Grimm.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
It's
horror.
definitely the exposition gal.
Yeah, that you'll get more later in this issue. The horrible black and white monsters from our world spreading their contaminating and their spread. They're contaminating people with the natural laws of Remnant, such as the possession of a semblance. You gained one Batman. One Batman. There's no other way you could have evaded all of us in that alley. Don't be so sure. You with a superpower, precognition, an ability to combine information in a way that permitted me to see an opponent's next move. You pretty much had that already. Not like this. If we become dependent on these powers, the withdrawal will be acute. You all have these powers? My name is Ruby Rose. My weapon is Crescent Rose, and my semblance is super speed. Ying Xiao Long. These babies are Ember Silica, double shunt gauntlets. And when something hits me, I can hit back with the same force, speed, and momentum, and then some. Terrifically useful after a breakup. And you, and you little kitty cat faunus, like Belladonna, and this is Gamble Shroud. I can actually break up, make a shadow clone of myself. If you're looking for a new line of work, this is my number. Of course, that would be useful.
Of course it would.
Yep. And you? Her name is Weiss. Her sword is, how do you say it? Marissinister?
Mertinaster.
Yeah, that.
Mertinaster.
Right. And she can summon a glyphgram. Well, sort of. I'm learning. And as you saw from her outfit last issue, this is clearly probably after they found out, like right before going into volume 7, because they will know about Salem, as we talk about later. So this has to be an in-between moment.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
So you are generating these creatures. No! I have powers over glyph. I can use dust, our fuel on Remnant, to conjure these molecular memories of the Grimm. The echoes I summon can obey me, but actually, given that Grimm decompose to nothing the moment they're destroyed, this might not be a bad way for you to see what we're up against. Now you realize that, Weiss? And Grimm are plague dogs of fear, sorrow, and despair. They're all very exposition heavy in this story.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got a lot of explaining to do.
Obviously.
I mean, somebody has to do
Yeah.
something for this since I spin an Uncle Crowler in here.
True. They can destroy whole cities, kill everyone in their path, and cause hopelessness and rage wherever they go. They're drawn to all negative emotions, sadness, terror, loneliness, envy, hatred. Which is why I'm glad we have little sister always looking on the sunny side. You're not the only one.
My little sister. Stop it.
You're not the only one. We saw someone with a paper mache scythe on 4th and Main right after we took down that wolf Grimm, remember? Are people really dressing like us? Guessing your names, making up series of where you came from, everything. It doesn't take much, and it doesn't take long for a story to ring true. I wish I had something like that from Remnant to share with all of you nice bad people. So Gotham is no more than a fairy tale, if that in the world of Remnant. As far as I can recall, there are all kinds of differences between our worlds. For starters, your mood isn't broken. In Remnant, it smashed the smithereens.
And we know why.
Yep. So your world didn't know about ours, but the Grimm managed to sense the woe of Gotham through the multiverse. That's pretty bleak. That's our theory right now, anyway. Now that the Grimm are here, though, they seem to be infecting people with semblances, superpowers, like the one who breathed fire and burned up the hospital. In our world, we're huntresses, specifically trained to fight Grimm. We spend years learning to master our abilities, but a bunch of people, all suddenly with abilities beyond our wildest dreams, turn loose in a city infested with creatures of fear, rage, and despair. And now the rumors the Grimm are causing these blackouts to your automobile's electricity. But oh, look at that, these other people. And I think that's supposed to be the Ruby one just running like, yeah. But yeah, look at her, she's like, what the? And come at me.
Turn loose on a city. Yeah, this is why Like, this is why there would be no Grimm in the Adam West one, because it's too bright and colorful.
Right. What's happening? Dust. Oh no. It looks like, and it's like we said, dust is the fuel in our world. You put the DNA of the Grimm in this machine to analyze it. Yes, it's been contaminated. Your machine is now following more and more rules of Remnant, like needing our dust and not electricity. I brought some with me, enough for our weapons, but not enough to power a whole city. Hey, where'd you? Wait. Where'd you? You said these Grimm were drawn to our world from yours. As far as we can tell right now, we didn't get a ton of information before being sent to the portal to handle the Grimm plague. And seatbelts? Click. They do have seatbelts. Where is the place in Gotham with the most negative energy? There is only one place: Arkham Asylum.
Great.
Of course.
Batman Arkham Asylum, RWBY style.
I think that breakdown of your technology is happening faster than we feared. Gasoline, electricity, even solar power are malfunctioning throughout 25% of the city, Batman. The machines that require them no longer recognize them as sources of fuel. They all require dust. Nightwing, Batgirl, and Catwoman, the Robins and the Birds of Prey, every other crime fighter in Gotham will handle damage control for now. We need to find the source of these Grimm and cut it off at the root. The longer they stay in our world, the further they spread. The more Gotham will be corrupted by the laws of Remnant. Get ready to jump!
Looks like we're gonna have to jump.
You have arrived at your destination, Arkham Asylum. How did you know that was coming? Precog. Your semblance? Are you able to see if I need to ignore it? Ruby, Yang, Weiss, and Blake will not be staying long. When these Grimm are destroyed, we can hope these semblances will go with them. We cannot become dependent on something we need to lose. I mean, he's got a point there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm fairly certain that even if you did get powers from a reality bleed, you'd still want to shut it off so that the reality bleed stops.
Yep. Like, you're afraid of becoming weak. You're proud of, and that what you've done is because you're alone. But all night I've been watching how you treat people, and you're not alone. Heaven knows why. And if Alfred proves anything, it's that you never were. And if you start fearing your semblance, fearing help and help from others, fearing help from anyone except within, the Grimm will smell that fear. The Grimm will come for you. Don't let fear deceive you into turning down help. Don't do their work for them. Whoa, did you just get chewed out by Blake? I'm jealous. She's right. She's right. But I gotta say though, Blake's rant, like we said, Batman has a point. Her thing kind of comes a little out of nowhere.
Well, not without reason, given her history.
Oh, yeah.
After everybody had to shove down shove it into her head that she's not alone. Son had to say it, King had to say it, her father had to say it, everybody.
And but actually though, it turns out though, him holding it back does bite him in the ass later.
Doesn't always. It is Batman.
Yep, she's right. Grimm thrive on negative emotion. And by the looks of it, we're about to walk into a smorgasbord.
Right.
Just imagine Lindsay say that, a smorgasbord.
Smorgasbord, now I'm hungry.
And howdy, Batman! How do you like my new three-ring circus? Yeah! And please, I can't control it. And please, I can't control it. Stay calm. Think of anything, any good thing, anything comforting. Stay as calm and confident as possible and help the others get out of this place before it's too late. Ah, a new little patient for a scarecrow. Cats eat crows, doctor. How about a little taste of your own medicine? Way to go, Blake. Buddy, why are you fighting us? We are trying to help you. The orderlies, the ordinaries, all the normal people out there. They're the ones getting powers. But trapped in here, we're in hell. These monsters, they prowled the halls for days while we were trapped in ourselves, feeding off of us, drinking us down to the dregs. Don't you understand? After that torment, only one power is left to us. The power to control creatures of rage, terror, and despair. The power to control the Grimm. So in other words, a lot of the DC villains are so full of the things that the Grimm thrive on, they can actually control them.
That's not good.
The Black Rider, the ghost that eats, the ruler of the dead. Oh, no. The Nakalavi!
No, not him again.
And
Red.
Batman won't let the Joker be killed. Get back. Don't let it touch you. Hello there. Where's the both worlds? And they merged. The Grimm, the semblances, the dust. Remnant isn't just corrupting your world. Remnant is absorbing it.
Nope. Nope, I'm out of here. Don't knuckle off your Joker for me. I'm out of here.
Now, but from this point on, we go into a different artist. Now, knows how RWBY is. No visor. But then here, this place is tearing itself apart. Looks like that's the last of the staff. And looks like that's the last of the staff. We better get out of here. Arkham belongs to the n00bs, which is merged with the Joker. See, look, see? Where did that come from?
Why do I look like I'm now in Big Hero 6? I
Right.
got you, Ingrid. I got you.
You did.
Yep. Our world, remnants absorbing your world, and the people filled with the most negative emotions aren't just being infected with semblances and superpowers, they're being absorbed by the Grimm. And rage, grief, regret, greed, envy, sorrow, or even a thirst for revenge. Every supervillain Arkham Asylum will be merged with one of those monsters by the time the sun rises. Batman, Team RWBY, Nightwing, Batgirl. Hi, Catwoman. This is all coming out around the same time as Volume 9. I'm positive this was intentional. This had to be intentional.
They for 9 volumes of Yums and Dunkelman and Zach. They had to keep their mouths shut, and now they're finally releasing it.
Yep, I told you to hike deeper into the city, and we did. We each went to a different quadrant. Within moments of one another, look what happened. Any object I touch, I can read its history like an open book. RWBY, you built this site when you were 14 with the help of your Uncle Crow. My semblances, I guess you call it inspiration. Hey, don't give up. Okay.
Okay.
And Catwoman, replication. I mean, look at this. I could have infinite diamonds without stealing one. Where's the fun? Other than tanking the world economy. And there may not be a world much longer, at least not a world of our own. You said these powers manifested within moments of one another. You know what else happened within moments of one another? We each met Team RWBY. And Yang, Blake, Weiss, and I are infecting people with semblances and superpowers. We're helping Remnant absorb your world everywhere we go. Batman's computer and Yang lay on the hood of the Batmobile. Hey, we all rode in the Batmobile. So everywhere Team RWBY has gone the past 3 days, they've infected just as many people as the Grimm. We need to get them out of Gotham before the entire city is overrun with uncontrollable superpowers. Alfred, I know who you need, and we'll have them on the line post-haste. And tell him I'll let him offer the Russian job. And tell her you'll forgive her for having such execrable taste. Hello? I need an extraction. Off your head and of your head from you, John. And look at this world's magic. All right. Don't get your Kevlar in a twist. Constantine and Zatanna and Constantine. We got to try to get Arkham contained. Team RWBY must go to an isolated location with a powerful leader versed in lore. You know the one. Oi, you know I can't. Zatanna can. Fine. All right, you steampunk ragamuffins. I gotta ask, what do you think about Weiss with the lipstick?
Let's go.
I feel like a more neutral color would look better on her.
Yeah.
I think it kind of works for her personally.
I don't know.
I must respectfully disagree.
Fair enough.
Never mind. I can't talk.
Go ahead, Eric. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it works for Winter since she's older, but not for Weiss.
True. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. Maybe because I'm seeing a bit of Winter in her.
Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah. Welcome to Themyscira, and hello there, Wonder Woman. Princess and Diana. Batman sent a transmission before your team left the Batcave. Now I hear from Alfred that it's everyone who comes from Remnant that carries this capacity to affect us with the natural laws of another world. Amazons are used to greater strength and unusual lore. You will be safe here. And these Grimm wolves are called Beowulfs, like the human myths of Beowulf. And these Grimm, Leviathan, Goliath, n00bs, they are also known to us through tales from other ancient texts of our own. So they're actually embracing the idea that and acknowledging how much of Remnant is based off of lore.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's really, really good. I like that.
all the fairy tales, all the myths, all the legends, and everything in between.
I mean, here's an interesting one. And you told Batman that the name Gotham seemed like something out of one of your own fairy tales? Yes, it's from a faunus fairy tale. Gotham was a city of eternal night, guarded by a lonely orphan prince. There was a beast within the city, and whenever the prince slew one of its head, two more grew in its place. No matter how he tried to bring the beast to heel, it grew more fearsome than before. It grew so huge the city was carried upon its back. If the prince were to slay it, the city would fall. If the beast were to eat him, it would cease to grow and would wither and crumble under the weight of the city. They needed one another, and if they have not yet died, they are living happily today. Traditional faunus ending to a fairy tale.
Oh,
It's like if Hercules never could slay the Hydra.
Yeah, but now while they're not there, they do bring up about Team Juniper. Your names too. Sounds like scenes from our own history. Pyrrha Nikos, like the warrior of ancient Greece and Macedon. Jean Arc, like Joan of Arc. Wait, I don't know this soda. And not only our histories, but our literature. Modern ones. Glinda Goodwitch and Bartholomew Oblick. I had a Dr. Seuss book called Bartholomew and the Oblick when I was a little kid. In between our world, it must be strange, very strange indeed. Even the look of you remind me of something from a fairy tale. Your wizard called us ragamuffins. Helpless children often show up in our fairy tales. They're about our own fears of being so vulnerable in an unfair world. Everyone has felt that and scared and wanted to feel strong. That's one of the reasons those stories last. There's a tale of a girl in a red cloak who wanders from the path and suffers great hardship, allowing her to end up in the belly of a wolf. There's another one of a girl with golden hair whose love of the good things in life led her to trample the needs of others. There's also an ill-fated maiden, destined to be a queen and too eager to take gift for granted. And one of another maiden, and possessed by a two-faced prince who was sometimes a beast and sometimes a man. Do these tales sound familiar to you?
Yep.
You know, I do believe our worlds have brushed against one another once before, clashing like the prince and his dragon, turning to lovers in a dance and leaving the lingering echoes of their kiss. So in other words, long ago, Remnant had a run-in with the DC Universe long ago.
Oh boy.
ah.
Do you have all you need, Princess? We have all and that we require, and more. Thank you both for your assistance. Here's a weird bit of lore, Ruby. Yeah, and we've been working all night, and I didn't sleep in Gotham either. Well, put sugar in your coffee. Any of these scrolls might hold the secret. Diana is a really big deal, isn't she, Zatanna? The biggest. Now, apparently, they're sparring now. Her mother, the queen, made her from clay. So they're keeping the clay origin in this particular version.
Got it.
And brought her life with a prayer. Diana is the strongest, fastest, kindest, wisest, the goddess humankind aspire to be. She's got so yeah, explaining all about that. And Amazon's also look pretty resistant to these semblances you all are generating in the people around you. So look what sprang up overnight. Shiflig, or glyphs. Pretty cool, right? Glyphs? You can summon glyphs as of this morning, presumably courtesy of staying around you four. I can handle it, but can you imagine some poor kid suddenly saddled with this power and no idea what was happening to her?
Sounds
Speaking
like
of, yep. Speaking of any news from Gotham, Batman is Arkham Asylum contained, and allies have come to help slay any Grimm that trespass beyond its walls. There are also quite a number of new faces in the crowd. They were the first to take on these monsters. They were keeping us safe before Batman got on the beat. They're like us, kids, and kids like us, high school students, and that is what they're doing with their lives, risking everything. I hate this feeling this useless. Sitting here in this ivory tower while strangers risk their lives and someone else cleans up Remnant's mess. This isn't what we were trained for. He's got to find a way to stop this. Okay, that is an interesting feeling, and of course it would be Blake.
Yeah, always
And
is.
I know that. She's so distraught that she makes a shadow clone that repeats her.
Damn. I know. I just noticed the, with the bubbles.
Yeah. Remnant and your world touched once before, right? And began to bleed into one another. If the legend can be believed, though time seems to move strangely between them. Did Remnant start absorbing your world then too? It seems such an act was prevented. So how is another matter. 4 heroines slew the king of the Grimm, freeing those affected by the pull of Remnant. But what became of the heroines? Whether they went home or remained on Earth forever or even perished in the struggle is unknown. I saw something when the Joker merged with the n00bs. A flash of purple fire around his eyes like Salem. Salem? A powerful champion.
Oh,
Yep.
Bum, 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 bum.
Now, here's the thing, though. I want to make this very clear about this. There is no big bad manipulating everything. Not where you stop. It's more of a case where the problem has started, and all this is the lingering effect of the ball getting rolling. Yes, Salem was a part of it, but we're going to go to see her her machinations a little bit later on. It was more about helping get the ball rolling, nothing more.
all right.
So they explain all about Salem and everything, and they even say like, well, we have powers that come from the strength of our souls, and our fuel dust can make our weapons run. We're governed by the same natural laws as everyone else. Magic is something new and strange. We didn't even think it existed until we first clashed with Salem's forces. Do you think Salem allowed the Grimm to come over to our world? I don't know why. What would that gain her? And how do we stop the Grimm who are already here before Batman started the quarantine? How do we close the portal in Arkham Asylum where the Grimm are coming from? How do we stop the spread of the infection of Remnant, which makes these human machines becoming nothing but dust? And how do we cure everyone of their superpowers? We can't even go out into the world without making a bigger mess than we started with. We were spreading the Remnant plague too, remember? There seems to be a great deal of negative emotion. Listen, if we can't go out there to fight, boom! Yang! Yang! Ruby, are you injured? Zatanna, I didn't mean to be possessive about the glyphs. We can share. If you can't go out to fight, Team RWBY, then I'll simply have to bring the fight to you. Hello, Diana. Found more little handmaidens to join the cult of the Wonder Woman? Cheetah, if you harmed any of the Amazons within the library, Zatanna, go and alert the Amazons in the city that the old watchtower is under attack. Careful. I'm sure by now you've realized a few of us have these fine new powers to control these beasts. And like what those supervillains at Arkham said. They've been soaked in their own negative emotions for so long, the Grimm came right for them. They were so powerfully angry or sad or cruel, their emotion allowed them to access the Grimm, and their semblances became to control the Grimm. Don't sound so catty. Wonder Woman is doing the same thing to all of you. Here you are, her little acolytes, running to her for shelter, running for the aid of the perfect princess of Paradise Island. The people out in the world, they treat her like she's a god, but she's got clay feet, wouldn't you say? I don't care much for gods. And you four, everywhere you are spoken of, new widow baby gods, adored and cherished by the people. Not for much longer. All that talk about gods, I thought maybe you were one. I guess not. You nasty little brat. Willing to die for your sister, eh? No one was ever willing to die for me. I guess you'll be the first of many to come. Yang!
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Why does this keep happening to me?
Come, Amazons. Come, handmaidens of your false god with clay everything. I have slain your little champion. Who else will face the queen of the Grimm? Yang! Team RWBY, I believe my semblance has come at last. Healing.
Look, she's got what John got.
Forgive me. We must hurry. The Thanos brought the Amazons, but Cheetah, RWBY, scream! Healing is only a return to the status quo. I offer evolution. Cheetah's merged with the Manticore Grimm! Are you behind these portals, Queen of the Grimm? You've always thought of yourself as a god killer. Even the most ancient gods will end when I'm through. Destruction of one more mythos would not quench your thirst for the blood of those you think legendary. I'm gonna try and kill me because somebody else thinks I'm cool. Gonna actually kill me because someone thinks correctly that my clothes are totally rad. It doesn't. And track-wise, Cheetah can't be the Queen of the Grimm. She doesn't have that kind of power. This liver-spotted madwoman is as much in the thrall of the Grimm as it is in the thrall of her. I very much doubt she'd be behind these Grimm portals. Why? why did these supervillains wind up with the only semblance to merge with Grimm? Because Grimm are creatures of negative emotion, and the supervillains have been steeped in it for so long, the Grimm sees them as a feast. Nice, but what emotion are the Grimm made of more than anything else? Fear. And what does Zatanna say Wonder Woman's lasso had the power of? Truth? That's a bit of a philosophical reach, Blake. Reach? Let's go, you haughty, jumped up library destroyer. I'll show Cheetah. I think Blake say haughty. It's interesting.
It makes what sense. I typically imagine her saying.
I'll show Cheetah who put the reach in treachery.
Hey, out of the Yang.
I know, typical Yang. If what Team RWBY believes is true, and truth is the cure to fear, then tell me one truth, oh Queen of the Grimm. What is your name? Barbara. Barbara, the Grimm are spreading, as are the semblances. We do not have much time. What do you know of this? I know that whenever Team RWBY goes, the Grimm goes. It is not that Team RWBY chases the Grimm chase Team RWBY. RWBY, Yang, Weiss, and Blake are plague dogs of Remnant. And wherever they go, Grimm will follow. People will gain semblances, and the technology of this world will fail, craving only dust. The old world will be gone, and a new pantheon of myths and legends will rise, with you no doubt among them. Take her to one of the cells. See that she atones for the death she nearly caused. But they're kind of repeating what they've been saying already.
Yeah.
That is a little bit of an annoyance I found with the story. They kind of are reiterating stuff and then acting like it's new information.
I mean, I get that. I get every comic is everyone's first, but this is a double B writers. Lose it.
I know, and they're basically now they're gonna have to now even on some obscure they're gonna have to be under quarantine.
Great. Please
Yep,
not quarantine ever again. I want at least 2020 behind permanently.
Yeah, we will find a way to keep you safe without exposing more humans at Amazon and the like to these powers and to the Grimm that pursue you. I am sorry, Team RWBY. Even old tales do not always have happy endings. Stranded again, while other people clean up Remnant's mess. Again! Everywhere we go, we seem to make things worse. Well, this time we're simply going to have to stay put. And if helping means staying away, then that's what we'll do. We won't go near a single other living. Ah! Salt!
You were saying?
We had one job! We're helping infect people with semblances. We're leading the Grimm right to these people. And angst aside, who opened that dang portal? They kicked us out right into this place. Team RWBY, over here. Team RWBY, over here. Who said that? I don't see. Oh no, look out! It's a bird! It's a plane! It's a giant demonic bird plane ghost monster! Whoa! Citizens of the metropolis, head down to the subway tunnels. Wait. What? Forgive the rather vulgar introduction. My name is Lex Luthor. I'm not above kidnapping people for a conversation, but my first choice would have been, I commandeer Wonder Woman's invisible jet, fly you to a luxurious location, and have my minions undo your blindfolds before a banquet table laden with all of your favorite foods on a private island. Sketchy? You, having trouble there, Haas? Oh, don't worry about the battle. Superman's having an irritatingly easy time of holding off those Grimm, and has been since last night. Unfortunately, my power suit is increasingly reliant only on dust. This was rather expensive. It doesn't help to establish my astonishingly futuristic tech empire, only to see it ransacked by the merging of a world governed by entirely different natural laws. I suppose I'll soon be reduced to my wits for survival. I have a feeling you have a whole script you're looking to go through of being oily, impressive, and charming. But we kind of have a thing to get to, so...
They have no time for Lex.
I brought you through that portal because I'm in need of your aid. You had that on you? It was more fun to watch you struggle. Weiss' natural enemy is whoever thinks he's the smartest man in the room. My dear, I promise you, I don't simply think that. Prove it. I funded the study of the multiverse, the web of worlds interconnected throughout space, time, and space, dimension, and time. And I found a world with a woman of incredible magical power, Salem of Remnant. Salem agreed to allot me some of the power of Remnant to aid in my mission. the depowering of that flying Boy Scout up there, Superman. He is quite vulnerable to magic, you see, lording over the rest of us with his pantheon of powers. I plan to allow Earth to become influenced by the laws of Remnant. The old superheroes, wretched, self-involved, depressed, wrathful, sorrowful, greedy of their powers, would merge with the Grimm, who feast on such dark emotions. Of course, only Lex would assume that!
Idiot.
And all those normal people that the superpowered left behind in the shadows, they'd manifest semblances all their own. The old world of heroes and villains would be gone. The merely human would finally stand. A new order would arise. This is very much a Lex plan, to be honest. Thinking that he would
this
raise...
is textbook Lex.
Yeah.
It's Lex book.
What an evil
I have been the one opening the portals, include the one that brought you here from the island on which I cannot step. I aimed it, and I admit I miscalculated. The Grimm were meant only to target the superpowered. Because you made a deal with Salem, you ding-dong! Salem is immortal. Salem is immortal. She tricked the gods themselves into bringing her lover back to life and back to her. Did you think you were wiser than a god? And that pretty much is his gimmick. Hello, Lois Lane. It seems almost childish to say you weren't behind this, weren't you, Lex? Not if it brings a great deal of satisfaction to say. But I'm afraid I'm in much the same boat you are now, Lois. I brought these little superpowered problem solvers here too. Team RWBY. I was covering the phenomenon in Gotham. Look at everything you've inspired. They've done more than we have, haven't they? That isn't true. We need each other, and we need to help each other. But listen, we kept the Grimm contained before Batman came on the scene. We kept the patients at Arkham from overrunning the city. We showed Wonder Woman how to beat Cheetah and cure the people possessed by the Grimm. And we learned the truth about the portals. Only because I volunteered the information. You'll be volunteering your molars if you make Ruby sad, Lex. Remember what you told Batman? Don't let the negative emotion get hold of you too, Blake. And the inmates of Arkham, terrorists like Cheetah, they're the ones who are being possessed by Grimm, right? The grief, rage, or weakness within them. Anyone can have negative emotions. That doesn't mean they're evil. That means they're vulnerable. There's less between a hero and a villain than you would think. Speaking of, what is that? It can't be. They only exist in fairy tales, but somehow it's oh no, a chill! Lex? Apparently that's a type of Grimm.
Oh.
Do forgive me, Miss Schnee, but one of the 48 laws of power is that when faced with defeat, surrender to buy time. You know I was a scorpion, but you just couldn't help yourself from doing a good deed. No, our dust! This will end all this talk of the line between heroes and villains, though it may just now seem murky. I must assure you, Weiss, I am the hero of the story. All our dust, all our power, all our hope, gone.
Nice.
Ooh, that's a lasting cover.
Yo, I love that cover. I love that.
That is really good.
Uh-huh.
It's Superman.
Nice going, Cue Ball. You doomed us all. Again.
Yep. You're Superman. He's possessed by a chill. The most powerful man on this earth, possessed by a Grimm of total despair. He could destroy everyone in this whole world. Well, how do we free him?
Whole city.
This whole city. Well, how do we free him? We needed Wonder Woman's lasso to free the others from Grimm possession, but this Grimm could already possess people before our worlds collided. We've never studied these at Beacon Academy. I mean, they're fairy tales on Remnant, and here so are we. So apparently the chill is such a rare Grimm.
Great. And I thought I thought the guys possessing things were bad.
Right. Think, Ruby. We need to lure the chill out of him. It wants the warmest place in the heart of its host. Come on, big boy. Let's get your blood up and get that heart pumping. The chill.
Yeah.
Chill already has the
That's
strongest.
it. Now you're being a yang man.
The chill already has the strongest host. It can only be lured by what its host wants most. And that Team RWBY, that would be me. Who are you? I'm Superman's biggest weakness and greatest strength. I'm stronger than kryptonite. I'm Lois Flippin' Lane.
Hey,
Come
hey.
here. It's warm in my arms. It's warm in my heart. Hark. Superman! Whoa. I'm free. No. Lois, Leave her. Come back to me. My heart is warmer, stronger. I love her most in the whole world. Lois! They love one another more than anything else. It's going to keep jumping between them. Their hearts burn harder every time the other's in danger. Hey, do that one more time. I'll try. Ruby, she might not survive. My love. Right there in between. Got you, heartbreaker. Well, at least that was kind of romantic. You freed him from the Grimm. But how? Why couldn't we awaken the Joker then? Why couldn't we awaken Cheetah without the lasso of truth? Hey, team, fight now, theorize later.
Probably a good idea.
The people are safe down.
The upside down at this point.
The people are safe down in the subways until we can get the rest of the Justice League here. And we can't go anywhere near them. We'll curse them with superpowers. We need to get out of Metropolis. We're the ones drawing Grimm here. I know just the place we can go.
Meanwhile, at the Fortress of Solitude.
Man, this is like the Batcave or bust. Like I said, I appreciate commitment to a bit. It seems even fairy tales,
isn't it?
it seems even fairy tales have power in this world. I didn't even know chill were real on Remnant. But here, the things we were afraid of as children, they're as real as any other Grimm. We all knew the n00bs. We had different names for him depending on where we've been raised, but I bet even the people of Earth know him somehow. The Boogeyman. No matter the form he takes, the worst of the worst. Childhood terror taken to the extreme. The Amazons, the Atlanteans, even the Kryptonians. We all know him. He will always ring true. That kind of story will always last. And it wasn't the Joker or Cheetah who's the sovereign of the Grimm after all. It's Lex Luthor. He opened these portals with the help of Salem and started all of this. He's the one we'll have to defeat. He's got dust, portals, and his power suit. He could be anywhere. All right, well, what do we know? How do we defeat him? How do we free the possessed without Wonder Woman's lasso? In our world, Grimm are creatures of fear. Joker didn't fear us, and neither did Cheetah. Superman's case was too unusual to use. Is it? But we saw it with the lasso. The lasso, let me think. The lasso of truth. What was the moment that Cheetah was freed of her possession? Not the moment the lasso touched her, no. Cheetah's possession ended when Wonder Woman made her say her true name. Not her glamorous supervillain name, but her mere mortal name. The rage Cheetah must have felt, and the fear. To go from thinking herself Queen of the Grimm to finding herself only human again. It wasn't truth. It was fear. I will say, though, the artwork does grow on you. I mean, the first two issues were the better artwork, but this one is not bad either.
No,
I'd agree. That's a really good shot of Ruby right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Superman loved Lois so much that even the chill inside him was drawn to her. He was so scared for her that he took the chill and back inside himself to save her. You're saying we have to scare every possessed person? I think so. Well, here's one of my worst nightmares. Lex Luthor, our savior. I have brought power to the masses and given you all new life. Like, we've let ourselves be shuffled from place to place, trying not to stir up trouble, trying to keep away the Grimm, trying to keep semblances from spreading. But trouble keeps finding us, and we have to realize we're not helping by just being good. We have to do good. We've been trying so hard not to make things worse. We haven't done too much to make them better, have we? That ends now.
That's Ruby.
Yep. Gotham is overrun. 95% of the population has semblances now, and more Grimm are coming through that portal every hour. Batman and his allies are holding them off, but the Joker, n00bs, is amassing a massive force behind the walls of Arkham Asylum. When that levee breaks, Gotham is going to be flooded with too many Grimm to stop. And Lave? I think that was... there's barely anyone in Gotham left to infect with semblances. No more Grimm to magnetize to our location than are already appearing. We can't make the situation worse. Famous last words. We'll just have to make it better. One step at a time. Oh, again, see? This artist is great with Ruby, isn't she?
Yes.
First reports of semblances.
That's good.
Yep. First reports of semblances in Metropolis as these black and white monstrosities invade the city. Dust required. Rats! We've got to go back. Stem the tide of Metropolis. We'll handle Gotham. Thank you for everything, even for this new little power. I can tell when someone is lying, even going back through my memories. That one about Santa Claus is admittedly a little disappointing. And I could tell you what Lex said, he believes it's true. he really does think he's the hero of the story, and that this is how and why he will be remembered. Superman, did you get a semblance too? The power from your aura that only those with souls have? I think my semblance is the capacity to see the good in people. That's your semblance? That is what always been in my soul. Good luck, Team RWBY.
That's Superman.
I have discovered another world. I will return with fuel enough for all, rid the world of those so-called Cape Crusaders, and usher in an era of power for the common man. Oh, please, please, common man, my left. Yang! Hey, all you Gothamites, listen up. He's the only one with dust. He's planning on going through the portal of the Remnant to get more. A monopoly on all the world's technology. Every fuel source now obsolete except for what Lex Luthor can provide. Is that true? Are you the one who gave us all these superpowers? I have brought power to the people. No more superpower oligarchs. Except for you, right? First among equals. I assure you my leadership is far superior to those dictators who haven't a snowball chance in hell of... Look around. And now, that is not Weiss. That is a girl look dressed like Weiss. Look around, buddy. Snowballs are doing all right. Who are they? Kids from Gotham. Girls who decide to stand up. And screwballs, misfits, and teenage outlaws too. You level the playing field, which means we understand that power is our right, not your charity. The billionaire corporate politicians messing with the fabric of reality and then framing it as a public good. And you want us to kiss your ring or kick your and burp? Ladies, we didn't need power to see and that for what it was. Buddy, the powers are just frosting. Get it? We're not taking you down just because we got semblances. We're taking you down because who we are we're all along. You Ingrid, forget. I already have my semblance. I can create portals. I'll send Salem your love. Nope. Hey, Lex, Batgirl, I know the history of anything I lay hands on, which means I know that when you built this, you built an emergency off switch. Good night, Lex. Catwoman!
Of course.
Have either of you seen Batman? He and Alfred have been missing since the last watch at Arkham Asylum. And we'll find them. In the meantime, Catwoman, can you use your semblance to replicate the dust Lex stole? You want this jumped up kitty litter by the ton or the truckload? Lightning? I think my power of inspiration are a little redundant here. It helps civilians hold off many a Grimm, but right now, you've already done that job for me. You ready? Come on, King of the Grimm. If you open the portal to this world, then you can close it. Don't you want to be remembered? Oh!
Enter.
Uh-oh!
A creepy grin of Batman. Nope.
Yep. Lex Luthor opened a portal to our world, hoping all people here on Earth would develop powers like ours. But instead, our world is absorbing theirs. Innocent people are suffering, and the supervillains are merging with Grimm. This is our time. Please, go with Catwoman and use as much dust as you need to restore some kind of order to the city. Help whoever you can. Altruism with my semblance? What an effect you girls have. We should be able to use this to hold Lex Luthor while we work out how to restore everything. And close that portal. And look at you. You try to steal not one but two worlds. Break them, remake them, overhaul them in your own image, and by your order. In every sense of the word, it's over. I can't close the portal. That was not my part of my deal with Salem, and you're making a mistake. You're on the wrong side of history, RWBY. Our worlds brushed once before, and what we took from one another then was story. They might have different names and different twists, but they still ring true. But gathered together under one iron fist, and the two worlds merge and absorb until they're all chaos and morass. Look around you. Is this the story you think will be remembered? And if it will be, why do you think you would be its hero? Burn! Batman and Alfred are missing. They were last seen side with Wonder Woman using her lasso to free those possessed by the Grimm. Do you think Batman went after the Joker, n 00bs? Alfred said that Batman would never let the Joker come to harm. Batman swore to never take a life. That includes the Joker, who's absolutely obsessed with him. Like Batman is the only person who matters. The Prince and the Dragon. We thought Lex was the King of the Grimm, but we defeated him and nothing has changed. We still might need to manually cure everyone who is possessed by the Grimm. Wonder Woman was doing what she could somewhere on the grounds, but Scarecrow, the fear toxin he tried to use on us, you think he could use it on the possessed? Maybe. There's truth in fear, isn't there? That's Batman's whole premise. Fear teaches us what we hold dear and true. Ruby, I think you're onto something. And every time we succeed, the rules change. Things merge and twist and shift beneath our feet. Canon changes. History is rewritten. Rules break. Fairy tales become reality, and reality becomes fairy tale. So how do we get ahead of any of this? We thought it was truth. And then we thought it was fear. How many more times can we be wrong? Cut out all the rules, all the histories, all the canon. What makes these stories last? Uh-oh!
Yeah. Hold on,
how many?
Turn on the light. It's getting dark.
All right. You know when you're back.
Just take a
Understandable.
That's better.
All right.
There. This is what happens. Yeah, this is what happens when it's late summer, folks.
How many rings were forged, or how many dragons flew? How many wives the pirate king slew, or the names of the swords that clashed against the Lich Lord? Was there grass as strong against electricity with a weather boost? No, you don't remember the rules. You don't remember the rules.
Pokemon reference.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yep. You don't remember the rules, so the rules give you stakes. What you remember is how those stories made you feel. What it was like to be a girl, too young, taking on a wild new world of monsters, magic, and mayhem. A grand adventure that became all too real. You remember how much you wanted to be special, how you would give your life to do the right thing. The drama, the peril, the romance, the wonder, the truth and the fear and the love you found those stories. So how do we get ahead of any of this? You try to be like Superman. You love them for the good you saw in them. You see the good you see in them, and you strive to step up into the place they left in the world. You make a new story and hope it's worthy of the place of the old. Alfred, thank goodness you're safe. Can you take Batgirl and Nightwing to safety? Of course, but please be ready to evacuate Team RWBY. The stakes have changed. We thought Lex Luthor was the king of the Grimm, but it was the first person to be possessed on Earth by a Grimm from Remnant. A man without fear to whom everything was just one sick joke. The Joker n 00bs has had free reign in Arkham, and on everyone inside of it. You, I thought you hated your semblance. This power is new. This power I like. So in other words, his fear, by holding back on the semblance, his fear increased until he was corrupted.
Okay.
Ooh.
You bit him in the butt.
Yep. Batman, how? I had to keep the city safe, keep the tide from rising. I caged the Joker, the one you come to call the n 00bs, the boogeyman. Maybe it was being in this place, in Arkham, and realizing this, and not anywhere else, was the true heart of Gotham. The darkness and despair, fighting for days underground, stemming the tide of Grimm, never seeing the sun. One of those monsters emerged from the portal, and I knew it was meant for me. We are one, and there is no more darkness. I only perfect clarity, everything black and white. Ah! Run if you can, Team RWBY. Everyone who brought about Gotham's ruin will be locked in this prison before I'm done. That most surely includes you. You said we need to scare them. Not just that, but we need to inflict their worst fears. We don't know these people. How can we possibly? We know their stories though. What have we seen? What have we learned from the warrior queen who gave us shelter, from the exiled prince from beyond the stars, from the dark knight who is his own worst enemy? It's a story. We're in a story. We're their fairy tales and they're ours. And that's a tale without. And what's a tale without a journey to the underworld? We will last. Our story will last. We will find a way out of this. How do we free them before? Cheetah and the lasso of truth, speaking of the reality of her own defeat. Clark and Lois seeing the one they love most taken from them. Truth and love and fear. Grimm are creatures of fear. I know what we have to do. What I have to do. Quiet now. No, Ruby, we can't. This is the darkest pit of this hell. And here's its devil. Team RWBY, your own Grimm are waiting. Why did these stories survive? The girl who learned moderation through temperance, the girl struggling between power and responsibility, The girl learning that forgiving others is less important than forgiving herself. The lost girl in the woods, straying from the past, sure to end in the belly of a wolf and learning to cut her own way out. Batman, this is your fairy tale.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, look at that.
Oh.
Gotham was a city of eternal night, guided by a lonely orphan prince. There was a beast within the city, and whenever he slew one of its heads, two more grew in its place. But it grew so huge, the city itself was carried on its back.
Look at all that fire, man.
Yep. And if the prince were to slay it, the city would fall. If the beast were to eat him, it would cease to grow and would wither and crumble under the weight of the city. They need one another, and if they have not yet died, they are living happily today. Batman suppresses his semblance, denied the power of his soul, too suspicious that it might weaken him. He's denied his precognition, and so he won't see this coming. Like, oh!
Ooh.
He let herself get stabbed. Fear. Them are creatures of fear. Batman feared only one thing, Alfred said. Taking a life. If I caused him to take mine, freedom from his possession, if I caused the Joker to think he'd kill the one person who mattered, it was enough to terrify the boogeyman himself. Our lives offered up to save two worlds. A story worth remembering. Ruby! Ruby, do not grieve, Batman. The king of the Grimm is defeated. Our semblances will leave soon, but not before this. Batman, Ruby. And as for your boogeyman, it seems he had a heart after all, or at least enough of a heart to be broken. The moon is healing, and so are the people. Their semblances are fake. I just realized why that's fishnets. Yeah, their semblances are fading, and the Grimm are flaking away to nothing. Catwoman again!
Okay, I think we've done this when you get to the ground. It's getting kind of silly at this point.
Oh, look! It's the cat. It's the Shrek cat from Batman Returns.
Oh.
Oh.
We kept the city going as long as we could. Everything was falling apart, but this was enough. No more than this. No more than this. No more semblance. I've already got rather a mountain of replicated diamonds sitting in my living room, though, so not a total loss. Nightwing, Batgirl, Alfred, and is that a bird? A plane? It's Constantine, Zatanna and Constantine. Anyway, here's Superman. Okay, that was a good fake out.
Yeah.
God.
Anyway, here's Superman.
I like it when you say it, Dan. You were more dead, Dan. You were like Garfield.
Anyway, here's Superman. All over the world, people's semblances are going away, which means I had to catch quite a few flyers who were suddenly more like fallers. And I really must be getting back to that. Flyers were suddenly more like fallers.
Yeah. Oh, thank God.
Everyone needs to get back to where they belong. Themyscira needs its princess. Metropolis needs its Superman. Gotham needs, well, a lot of things. But when we defeated the king of the Grimm, the portal closed. All the other Grimm fell. People lost their semblances. Even the moon is whole again. We'll have to stay here, won't we? I have no more semblance. I cannot open you a portal home. And our magic doesn't have a multiversity clause. Hell dimensions, sure. But the weather is awful this time of year, and my unusual origin meant I was delayed in receiving my semblance. I think I would be delayed in losing it. What was your power? Divine healing. And as I could heal what was broken in the body, you think you can repair what is torn between worlds? This is a bit of a stretch, I think.
Yeah, that's a bit contrived.
Just let it ride. Just let it ride.
I know it will not last long. Yep, it will not last long, but it will heal clean. Before you go, I want to tell you, seeing the good in people, the truth of who people are and what matters most, that really helped. It always does. Be well, Ruby. No one will believe we were ever here in your fairy tale world. Oh, Team RWBY, everyone will believe you were here in ours. Who knows what tales they will tell? Who knows what tales and who knows what tales they would tell? You have already made your mark on your own world and on ours. The best of you is in the best of those who knew you and who carry that knowledge onward. Ah, she's donating diamonds to a animal shelter.
Of course you would.
Ah,
They are not defined by their abilities. They are known for who they are within. Semblances do not make them who they are. What they seek to do, and they will do, even without those powers. Seasons change and years pass, and some stories outlast them all. Who keeps such tales alive? Their tellers, their scribes, or the ones who feel their stories in their souls. The one who feel and love and remember. The ones like you. So, how was that?
that was
nice.
pretty good.
I like that.
Very nice.
Now,
I like that too.
first off, Ingrid, since you were the one that was there for the first mini, what and how does this compare? Which one would you think was better?
Oh gosh, it's been so long that is really hard to say.
I would think this one because it has more of a meaning behind the crossover.
Yeah,
whereas
this
the other one, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like the last one was kind of like having cake, whereas this one was more of like a savory dinner. Still good, but one of them's a bit more nutritious.
Exactly. And like I said, the artwork, the first two issues was the best. Can we agree to that?
Yes.
Yes.
But this one, especially with Ruby, was
Yes.
very good too.
Yes.
Mhm.
So okay, let's go around first. So Dan, you go first actually. What's your overall thoughts on this mini?
I really liked it. I mean, I didn't really, honestly, I didn't really think much of the crossover idea like when it first got announced, but you know what? It's won me over.
Yep. How do you think the Ruby characters were handled?
I thought they were handled pretty well.
Yep. Obviously
Like
the
you
DC
could like in the writing, you could definitely tell that they were the ones that we know.
Yep. Although I would say the Catwoman gag was annoying by the third time, wasn't it? Like,
Well,
No,
it's
it wasn't.
Yang.
okay, Eric, your thoughts?
Well, we're awesome. That doesn't. Okay, but in all seriousness, the artwork was nice. The exposition brought it down a little too bit with the repeating, but I felt it kept picking up, and I thought overall it was pretty good. Good. I thought the artwork took some getting used to, but once it did, it kind of that felt like, yeah, this was what would happen if Ruby got stuck in DC. See, give or take.
Yeah.
There was a lot of inner monologuing, though, which I'm like, after Volume 9, we got to see everybody's fears and thoughts. So.
True, but we never saw Ruby's any Team Ruby's thoughts though. They were all except for Ruby. We did see Ruby's, but otherwise, Ruby was the only one whose thoughts we got.
Well, I'm like Ren. I think a lot when I don't talk.
Well, I think Ruby shined the most in this one. I think
Yes.
Ruby
I'm
really.
gonna disagree with that. That would definitely be good.
No,
Yeah,
it's like Osmond said. She's the simple, most honest soul, and everybody says she's the little beacon of hope throughout the whole team with her and Team RWBY and Juniper and all that. And I hope we continue to see that. Greenlight Volume 10, please.
Yeah, but I was others, I did know that Blake seemed to have a bit more of importance at first, but then it focused more. It seemed to transition to Ruby more so.
Isn't that what happened in the original story? Darn.
Now, I gotta say that like I said before, the fact that there was no overlying big bad behind it. This was Lex got the ball rolling, so did Salem, but for the most part, it's more of a following action they're trying to reverse before it brings about the end of everything.
Lex's ego gets in the way of everything.
Very true.
I gotta stop playing with these toys. I apologize.
I also like how Superman did not
That's
dominate
fine.
the story, but he still had a major impact. The fact that he inspired Ruby at the end, like she said, well, how do we do it? We gotta be more like Superman.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so now, oh yeah, Ingrid, your full-on thoughts over everything else.
I thought it was really creative and cleverly handled and clearly showed an understanding of what made both of the universes tick. There were a couple of rough edges here or there, like maybe getting a bit too exposition-y and, of course, the Catwoman joke, but overall, I thought it was really well handled.
Agreed, and especially, can we all agree, the use of the fairy tales was very good.
Yes,
I like the idea.
fairy tales.
I like the idea that the DC world, they exist as fairy tales in Remnant. I like that.
I like that idea too, because all
I like that too.
early cases of different versions of superheroes actually being comics in the universes of other superheroes, it very much fits in with the theming of both universes.
And when you think about it, the story of the Dark Prince and all that, it does match Batman.
It really does. I thought that was a really fitting metaphor.
You know what? Now that you think about it, I'm reminded of what Heath Ledger Joker said at the end of Dark Knight. I feel like we'll be doing this for a long time. You
forever,
because of some tainted justice, and I want to take heart.
You're just too much fun.
This is what happens when the irresistible force meets the immovable object.
Yep. But
seriously, was I the only one who liked the Catwoman joke?
I guess
I thought it was funny.
It was overused rather than that it was bad.
Yeah, like the first two times were fine. The second two were.
They only made them. They only made it like 3 times, didn't they?
Oh no.
One.
Was it? It was.
Never mind. Forget it.
I lost count. Yeah, but again, just throughout all of this, and the fact that I do like the use of Ruby and the others inspiring others. You know, basically, again, it's a nod to the fandom.
It's a nod to
the positive side of the fandom. The positive side of the fandom.
Well, yeah, the ones who love the cosplay, love the write their fan fiction, love what Monty originally created, and do then what they do in tribute to him. It makes sense.
Yeah,
and it's art imitating life, and vice versa.
Exactly. And again, I just also loved how they turned on Lecter like, oh, big whoop, you know.
Yeah. Well, he's so easy to turn on now. He makes it so easy.
Hey, do you really think I would endanger the whole world just to settle my personal grudge with Superman?
Yes.
And again, the stuff with Weiss and Alfred, I still found was so adorable. It's just like they first meet, and what she do, she immediately gives him a hug. Like she feels that connection.
Weiss is very hug happy post volume from post volume 4 onwards. Hugs her sister, hugs Yang, hugs Klein, hugs everybody that he gets.
Yep. But again, just throughout all this, just the idea of the world's merging. But it's like, funny thing is, though, we don't see Remnant out. It's more affecting the DC world than it was affecting Remnant. Although my guess is we wouldn't have seen Remnant until fully merged, I think. Or we didn't reach that point where Remnant would have appeared more.
Probably.
Yeah, that would make sense.
That makes sense that we didn't quite reach that point. I feel like that would have been the point of no return, where they wouldn't have been able to do anything after that. But like, they didn't get to.
Dang, you're better off just calling them Grimm Busters after that.
Yeah, and the other thing I also really liked was Ruby. I realized how Ruby was basically realizing we did some stuff to help, but then when we tried to avoid it, we stopped helping. But no, that was wrong. But I liked how she realized, yeah, even if you might be part of the problem, just sitting around doing nothing is not going to help.
Yeah.
I had good role models.
Exactly. Although I will say this, though, some of the stuff like Nightwing semblance, it more was there so for to help out with stuff off screen more than anything else.
Yes, but what if we all agreed on with Nightwing? Besides, after Soups, he's the one everybody gathers around.
He's the heart.
That's just what Richard is, it seems, especially with the Titans.
When I look back, actually the scene with the chill it wasn't an actual Geist. It was more of a fairy tale, but because what was fairy tale in their world became reality in this merged world. So it was an original Grimm. Which I like. I did like that because that was an interesting take on it all. But yeah, overall, I give this like an 8. A strong 8.
I think
that sounds good to me.
I think that's fair. That's fair.
I think it should have been 6 issues, not 7, because I think it was it being 6 issues why we had some of the reiterating of stuff, especially on Paradise Island when they had to reiterate saying, "Oh, we got to put you in isolation." It's like Isn't that why they came to Themyscira in the first place?
Sometimes you just gotta
I can agree with that too. Trim the fat a little bit.
Comics need to relearn that again. You got to chew the fat.
Trim the fat, not chew the fat.
Or trim the fat. Excuse me.
Right, and like I said, the fact that this was mostly about the RWBY girls, it's not like the League dominated. Like even Batman, he was only in there for the first 2 issues and then the last few, but like and everything. And I like that. I did like how.
There's one thing I can't stand about certain stories in the past 20 years. Batman takes over like Wolverine takes over.
Yeah, in this case, it truly felt like a RWBY story in the DC universe.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Eric that, like, you know, Batman and Superman especially they suck the air out of a room in comics, kind of.
Yeah,
which is odd because Superman's supposed to blow the air out down with the Superman, not sucking it.
Now, how did you both feel? Last question: how would you three all feel about how it was all resolved? You know, like how they dealt with the Joker and Batman. Like Batman, I understand, but Joker.
I mean, it's not that. I mean, Joker has a heart; he just never uses it.
Right, and like Wonder Woman said,
he's been corrupted by his own maliciousness.
And like Wonder Woman says, he has a heart, at least enough of a heart to be broken, but that still felt a little.
No, I didn't think so. I thought it made perfect sense, honestly.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought it made sense.
I can see both sides of it here.
True.
Maybe an evil clown, but he's still human.
Right. But yeah, now what I want to see another follow-up, but it was this. No, I think these 2 minis were perfect as they were.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they needed
stories from 2 different angles.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's why even with the 2-part anime movie, they're covering both angles there too. One's in Remnant, one's going to be in the DC universe.
When's that coming out? Halloween?
Yep, on Halloween, on RWBY's birthday.
It's October 31st!
Woohoo! Your birthday?
Well played, DC.
Yep.
Well played.
Yep. In fact, let me double check what the day and what that day falls on. Hold on. Oh, it falls on Tuesday, which is when most new movies come out. Blu-rays come out anyway.
Right, but for me, it was Tuesday.
Oh yeah. So overall, very good.
It's Taco Tuesday too. We could have tacos and watch RWBY.
I gotta learn to make tacos. I haven't had tacos in a while now.
Yep. But Ingrid and I since Ingrid and I went over the first 2, we can agree this was the better of the minis, but both were still very good. I do think the other problem with the first mini was because it was written with the DC Digital first in mind. I think that was a bit of an issue with that one, whereas this one was clearly written with the individual issues in mind. I think that made it be a lot stronger for it. Because the digital ones, 2 issues of that equals 1 issue total. So,
yeah.
So I think that's what gave this one a bit more of a,
it had better pacing.
Better pacing, different structure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see that.
Yep. So, yeah. Thank you all, you guys, for joining me. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We'll see you all in the next one.
Bye.